I needed higher, is that good?
I don't remember hunched over.
That's fine. 2 observations before we start. Number one, this is the second month that I've had to follow Luke. I'd just like to thank the universe for that. And secondly, I kind of learned that I really need to pay attention when somebody's up here saying something, because last month when I was here, they announced what this month's theme was going to be, and what I heard was a new beginning, and the reality is out with the old. Now, you would think that's not all that far off. But when I tell you my story, you're going to see where there might be a divergence of thought. So 25 years ago, I was divorced. Hence, out with the old is maybe a little harsh. A new beginning sounds a whole lot easier to deal with. And I won't bore you with all the gory details, but it wasn't a pretty thing. It really wasn't. And as a result of that, having grown up in a household that was, as Luke said, very traditional, very faith-based, the idea of divorce was something that just never really occurred to me. That was something that other people did. That was something that was never going to happen to me. And it wasn't like we didn't give it a fair chance. I was married 22 years to this woman, and we had 2 beautiful children, and that's the result, the good result of this marriage. And of that 22, there was probably about 4 years of it that was really happy. The rest, maybe not so much. But at any rate, after that 22 years and after a lot of struggling and everything, and we finally realized that this wasn't going to be something that was going to be a forever relationship, we decided to part ways. And actually, I like the woman much more now than I did when I was married to her. She's actually a fairly nice lady. She's just a really lousy wife, and I apologize for that. I know I'm not supposed to badmouth things or people, and I'm not. But if you asked her and she were standing up here, she'd tell you I was a lousy husband. So. Okay, so we went our separate ways. By the same time, talk about God kicking you in the teeth, I lost my job. So now I not only don't have a home, I don't have a wife, I have 2 children that think I'm a jerk, and I don't have a job. So what do? Thank goodness I have a sister. My sister said, come and live with me till you get this thing all figured out. So I did. And one day she came home from work. She had just started a new job herself. She came home from work and she says, I met this really neat lady that sat beside me in the orientation. You really should meet her. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's exactly what I want at this point in my life, is try and meet another woman to start a new relationship, right? I just got out of one that I got my teeth kicked in. And I'm thinking, maybe not so much. So my sister and I one day were going shopping at a small grocery store in the little town that we lived in, and I come around the corner, and who comes around the other corner but this other woman, and my sister says, hey, Carol, how you doing? It's good to see you, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, there she is. This is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my entire life. And being the highly evolved specimen of masculinity that I am, I'm thinking, I wonder if she... No, never mind. You know what I'm thinking. So, again, I'm thinking, I don't want anything to do with this, all right? I cannot do this at this point in my life. This was toward the end of the year. It was right around, actually, about this time of the year. And she comes to me, or calls me actually, Carol did, and she says, would you like to go to the Christmas party at work with me? Okay, why not? If you're that desperate that you have to ask me to go to the Christmas party, I'll go with you. So we went in, we sat down, and about 3 hours later, we got up. And I literally, for that 3 hours, I stood there and I watched this woman and I talked to her. And I can remember, I swear to you, as if it happened this morning, I can remember thinking, this is the most intelligent woman that I've ever met in my entire life. And she's that good looking. And I'm still wondering, does she? No, No, don't go there. Okay. So after we went through this and everything, we started calling each other and we talked a little bit more and things became a little bit more involved and everything. And I remember very distinctly, again, one day I was dancing with her and I looked in her eyes and I seen the soul of a warrior. This is a woman who is not going to let anything stop her. And after I got to know her a little bit, I realized that she not only had the soul of a warrior, but she had the heart of a compassionate lover. And there was nothing that I could do that could screw that up. And so after a while, we got married. And that was 23 years ago. But I don't know if you all know what a head fake is. A head fake is like a football player is going down the field. He has a guy in front of him. He does one of these trying to jerk him out. Well, this story has a head fake, and here's the head fake. This is not about my new beginning. The story is about what I learned in the new beginning. A long time ago, I heard the quote, and I don't know if it was Nietzsche or Kierkegaard or Elvis or whoever the hell it was. It said, at the moment of commitment, the universe conspires to assist you. And Carol taught me that I needed to change my way of thinking about life, but she also gave me the courage and the strength to do that, and I made that commitment, and the things that fell into place that allowed that to happen. If I were to write a book, and I picture myself as kind of a book writer or storyteller, whatever, I couldn't begin to tell you the things that occurred in my life that fell into place that made Carol and my relationship work, and how she came into my life and the things that happened afterwards. But again, the other quote that I kind of live by, there's actually a couple of other ones. That one, and my mother, when I talked to her about some of this stuff, she always just would kind of shake her head because she could never understand, but she'd always look me in the eye and she'd say, you know what, just keep loving. Just keep loving and it'll all work out. And then there's Mick Jagger that always said, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometime, you might just find that you get what you need. And I think I probably have, and I don't know if that's out with the good or the old or a new beginning, but that's my story.